Welcome back for another practice session. After last video's session of doing a single phrase at a time, it's now time to test our pairs of phrases out of order. Like last time, I'm here at random.org at their list randomizer section, and I've cut and pasted a list of pairs of phrases now, and I'll be pressing the randomize button, and let's see what order we have. This is going to be 7 large sections. The first step will be just to play the first phrase that's mentioned and then the very beginning of the second phrase. That will start to train you to tie the phrases together. You don't need to play pairs of phrases right away. You can do this wonderful intermediate step of just playing the first phrase and then the very beginning of the second phrase. It'll save so much time if you do this step. The first item of 7 is play from the beginning of the circle of fifths phrase to the cadence on C at the end of phrase 3. Okay, that's the beginning of phrase 3, so I'll stop there. Now, the next task is play the last phrase of the piece, and because by doing pairs of phrases, the first phrase doesn't get played more than once, I make it so that whenever I have starting on the last phrase of the piece, I also make you go back after a pause to think and play the first phrase, just so you can test skipping from the end back to the beginning, and so that the beginning has a little bit more practice being recalled. Play the last phrase of the piece, also test the first phrase of the piece, since it's only been played once so far on this list. Okay, C7. By practicing this way, you can also compare your tempo and try to remember your final phrase tempo and match it whenever you start the piece over again. Item number 3, play from the diminished chord in the middle of the G pedal point paragraph and go to the end of the piece. Okay, 4. Play all the G pedal point paragraph and stop before the C7 at the end. Okay, first phrase there, and then I stop shortly after making the transition into the beginning of the next phrase. Number 5, play from the phrase beginning with diminished chords to the end of the transition to G in the bass. Okay, 6. Play from the beginning to the cadence in G. number 7, play from the first phrase beginning with C7 until the G7 right before the diminished chord. So I've started on each of the 7 starting places, and I've gone to get my foot in the door for the phrase that comes after. And now it's time to practice 2 complete phrases. So I press the go back button. I have my list still in the box on the website, and I'll randomize again. Now I'll be trying pairs of phrases. And I'm realizing now I am getting a little stage fright playing for you here. I think that I haven't thought enough about my artistic intent with this piece. I've been intent on playing fast and testing my fingers. And gosh, I think I'll need to think about if I'm going to bring out which hand more than the others or which dissonances to bring out. There are so many dissonances to choose from. So gosh, I'm a little flat-footed because I've been too notey with my practice. So don't postpone adding some artistic touch and some artistic decisions about balance, and don't always just try to play fast. Now we have the 7 items randomized again. Play all of G pedal point paragraph and stop before the C7 at the end. Now the list items are going to be completely accurate. I am going to do what they say because I'm not just going to stop at the beginning of the second phrase like I was before. That was my foot in the door portion of the practice, and now it's time to practice the complete pairs of phrases. This will be all the transitions possible in the piece. G pedal point paragraph and stop before the C7 at the end. So many mistakes. That's what happens if you postpone trying to play with good balance or with a little bit of artistic intent. Whenever you try to be more musical and less mechanical, you mess up so often. So I'll probably need to go through these pairs of phrases again and just try to put more feeling into it. Play from the first phrase beginning with G7 until the G7 right before the diminished chord. So I'm trying to bring out the top notes of some of these chords because that's where some dissonances are. And also for the pedal point paragraph, I've been noticing when I analyze it that it is an attractive top note motion that the diminished chord helps with. So we go, it is stepwise. So we have a lot of stepwise motion. So that's why I'm trying to bring out the top right now. Okay. All right, I think we're on item number 3, unless I lost my place. Play from the diminished chord in the middle of the G7. No, play from the diminished chord in the middle of the G pedal point paragraph and go to the end of the piece. Okay. play the last phrase of the piece, also test the first phrase of the piece, since it's only been played once so far on this list. Item number 5, play from the phrase beginning with diminished chords to the end of the transition to G in the bass. Okay, we have the diminished chords resolving, two different diminished chords resolving to two different chords. This is phrase 3 and phrase 4. Play from the beginning of the circle of fifths phrase to the cadence on C at the end of phrase 3. Play from the beginning to the cadence in G, phrase 1 and 2. Okay, there we go. Well, I didn't play it. I didn't really play it twice. Okay, well, there we go. We have our pairs of phrases being trained, and we also have our pairs of phrases where we do the phrase and then just stop right after the transition into the next phrase. And you see, it's too late for me. I haven't practiced with artistic intent, so you go ahead and start doing that now in your home practice, and good luck.